Hi, welcome to another video. This is Mr. Chow from EnglishTuition.org. Now in today's video, we are going to go through three big major mistakes that some students make when they go through the PSLE English oral exercise. And the first big mistake that they make is that some students, they actually try too hard to impress the examiner. So what happens is that they're trying to use and pronounce too many long and difficult words, and they use words that they don't really understand. Some of them use run-on sentences that are very long and lengthy with incorrect sentence structures, and the end result is that they don't really come across as confident. And my advice to overcome this big mistake is just be yourself so that you sound more natural. What you don't want to do is to sound pretentious. Remember that you are the most impressive when you can speak clearly, fluently, and with the correct grammar. Now let's move on to big mistake number 2. Now some students try to recall a system or a script or some model answers that they have come across in the past during the conversation itself. So what happens is that when they're thinking of the system or the script, they are kind of hesitant in their delivery because they're trying to stick to a system, so that makes them very rigid and very inflexible in expressing their ideas. And the other thing that might happen is that some students will end up sounding too robotic and too stiff. That's because the delivery is kind of memorized. And my advice to overcome this big mistake is to try to stick to talking about opinions, what do you think, and your own personal experiences. So whenever you're telling a true story, you realize that you don't actually have to try and recall or try to remember what someone else had said or what someone else had written. So all you need to do is to recall from your memory what you have experienced, and you will not hesitate so much, and just try to give the vivid details to the examiner, just like you're having a normal conversation. And the next big mistake that some students make is that sometimes they try to talk about everything at one go. This is rather typical because some students, when they go through the PSLE English oral test or exam, they feel nervous, so they rattle on and on and on and on, thinking that the more they say, the more likely they are to be awarded points. Well, that's not true. Now, if the responses are irrelevant to the questions that have been asked, then they may not be awarded the point. The problem with this is that sometimes the student finds that he or she has exhausted the reasons, the opinions, and the experiences that they can actually use for the other prompts. So they make the mistake of just after the first main prompt, just rattle on and talk about everything that they have prepared to say without leaving more content for the other prompts. So I think this in itself is a big mistake. So my advice is to just stick to the opinions or experiences that are strictly relevant to the question and do not digress. For example, usually the first main prompt is about the visual stimulus itself. So stick to describing what is happening within the visual itself and do not go out of the visual and then talk about your personal experiences about something else. So that will make sure that you stay very relevant to the prompt and do not run out of things to say for the subsequent prompts that are about to come. Also, when you're about to end, try to signal to the examiner that you're closing by saying something like, in the end, this is what I think, or in the end, this is what I feel, in sum, this is what I feel, so that the examiner knows that you are ready to move on to the next prompt, so that you don't have to just keep on rattle on and on and on because you're watching for some signal from the examiner. It should be the other way around. The examiner is watching the student to give the signal that you have actually finished delivering or conveying your ideas, and then you're ready to move on to the next prompt. And with that said, we have come to the end of the video. Hopefully you find the video useful. If you'd like to sign up for lessons, please visit EnglishTuition.org, and do remember to leave a like and subscribe if you find the video to be useful to you. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll talk to you soon in the next video. Bye bye.